Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Daily Focus. And today I just had a bunch of stuff in the morning and wasn't able to get to it, but I see a mistake. It is 2 Timothy 1:7, not 2:7, that we're dealing with. And it's a very familiar verse. And I'm just going to deal with one. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. There are so many people today that get paralyzed by fear. Sometimes those fears are legitimate, powerful enemies, right? They're legitimate challenges in life. They're legitimate, tangible um, intimidators, whether it's the starting of a new job, whether it's the facing of a serious illness, whether it is the challenging the challenge of a um, project that is beyond what you understand or feel like you can do, whether it is the fear of what somebody might think, whether it is the fear of the potential danger. I was sharing with somebody recently about my natural fear of in-ground pools as it relates to having grandbabies. It's just a natural fear of mine, and some of that fear is grounded in the fact that I've never had one, and part of the reason I've never had one is because of the fear I have about them. I just would never want that challenge in my thinking. So it's easy to just not have it because of the fear of the potential heartbreak that it could bring. But it also, the fear robs you of the joy of what it produces. And there's a lot of people in life that are being robbed of the joy, peace, and enjoyment of what something could produce because they alienate themselves away from it. They fail to embrace it. They refuse to deal with it. And so that's the reason why they want nothing to do with it, is because of fear, but they also lose out on the other side. I was talking with somebody from our church, and they were saying, life is really a bunch of trade-offs. And I think that's absolutely true. I mean, life is a trade-off. If I'm going to work for here as opposed to over here, this one over here may have A, B, and C, and this one has D, E, and F. And if I go here, I don't have A, B, and C. But if I go over here, then I don't have D, E, and F. And so it's a series of trade-offs. If I'm going to buy this car, then I don't get this. But if I'm going to buy this one, then I won't have that. If I'm going to live in the South, I'm not going to deal with winter, but I'm going to have to deal with the hot mugginess. There's just life is a series of trade-offs. Well, that's kind of the way that it is in our Christian lives too, is that God says, I've not given you a spirit of fear. Don't give in to fear that's going to rob you of what God's power could produce. Don't let fear rob you of the security of God's love. Don't let fear rob you of thinking properly about God's person, God's program, and God's power. Sound thinking, solid thinking, biblical thinking, God-centered thinking produces an amazing amount of confidence, because my identity is in the perfection of how God made me. It's in the sovereignty of God's control in my situations and circumstances. It's the promises that I know hold me in the future. That those sound thinking produce a confidence that fear would like to take away. And so a lot of people are paralyzed by fear, and they give in to fear rather than the confidence in God's power, the confidence in God's love, the confidence in God's person and program. Thinking properly about who God is and what he's like. You see, God has not given me a spirit of fear. He's given me confidence. He's given me security. He's given to me victory. It's just mine for the claiming. And what is the one thief that I allow to rob me of that? Fear. So let's not let it be. Let's make sure that we are individuals who are pursuing confidently the situations and circumstances of life, the opportunities of life. Why? Because of God's power, because of God's love, because of God's person and program, thinking properly about life in regards to the fact that God is the author of it, he's the sustainer of it, and he's the giver of eternal life. What a wonderful, wonderful, confident way we can live. We don't have to live in fear. God bless you. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.